everybody to the December 4th meeting of the Budget, Finance, and Investment Committee. And I would like to take a second to ask everybody out there to keep our county trustee, Ted Beatty, and his family in their prayers for the terrible instance of loss of his son. And bad things happen to good people, and that just, there aren't words. But just ask everybody to do that. Moving right along, we'll ask if everybody got a chance to look at the minutes, and we'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Schaefer.
Second.
Second from Mr. P. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, I need my back to the right thing. The investment report. Mr. Beatty's not with us tonight. Totally understandable. We had no new investments come up this month, and no money moved, change hands, and the LGIP is 0.08. So we're bringing in the big bucks off the money in the bank. But, moving on.
Do you need a motion on that, Mr. Chairman?
You think we need a motion on that? Okay.
Motion to approve
Your report. Have a motion and a second. Mr. Allen, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving right along. Fund condition report, Ms. Nolan.
Okay. We'll start with our development tax
Which is?
through November. You got with us?
Is that
It's
revenue
Phase
review?
what?
Yeah.
It's
Should be 3 days.
it should be 3A.
3A.
One of 30.
3A, 1 of 30, the first page. Okay, we received $128,250 in November with an adjustment. Our total for the year is $1,251,000. We are 5 months reporting and about halfway through our estimate. Our estimate for the year was $2,450,000. Moving on to cash balances. At the end of November, our cash balance was $145,267,000, with $131,663,000 being operating funds, $13,605,000 being borrowed funds. I think Commissioner, you asked about the insurance, and I did forget that at the end of the fiscal year, all funds contributed almost a little over $900,000 into this fund to pay the transitional reinsurance fee. And that is a fee related to the Obama Affordable Care Act that we have to pay $63 per member. Not just employee, but per member into the
So it was a
transitional reinsurance fee. And what that fee is supposed to be for, with healthcare, we cover everybody, and there's no exclusion for pre-existing. So it's money that goes in there that helps, from what I understand, to pay those costs. Things that we typically would not. However, I'm going to stop there.
That's about good enough.
I just
I'm
know.
gonna act like I know it.
Yes, and so that payment's going to come out in December.
It's just
So
another tax is basically what it is.
It's basically a tax. And everybody who's got more than 50 employees has got to pay it.
Okay.
Okay.
And how many years is that? Is it in the
It's
first
3
3
years. 3 years. It's 63, then the next year's 44, and I'm not sure if the third year is even decided. Supposedly drops
Yeah.
off. Okay? So that was that, along with that increase in the rate. Yeah. Okay. All right, Mr. Sandvig will be bringing an amendment in on this last one that has a negative. He's going to transfer money out of another project to clean that up. I brought up to you last month that I am making this recommendation that we, on the capital projects, these ones that start with 171, those are general capital projects, that we transfer the unallocated of $319,837.36. We close Elam Road Fire Station with $19,868.67, and close hazard mitigation, the 2012 project, $1,971.33 and close all of those three projects into our city-county road project. There are monies in each of those projects that either came from development tax or the general fund balances.
And if anybody agrees with that, we'll entertain a motion to do that.
Make a motion approved.
Motion approved, Commissioner Jernigan.
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Allen. Any further discussion?
I see what two lines you're talking about taking the money from, and where are you, which line does it go into?
City-county road is the very first
Oh, I
project.
see that, okay.
We've got a pretty good bill coming.
We probably could change the
Toby
date,
Jackson.
2003, and change that date, but yeah, it's that first city-county road project.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes?
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Abstain.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yeah. Motion carries.
Okay. Moving on along with the report, unless anybody else has any questions on cash, I'll move to the revenue.
Moving to B. 3B.
I'll move to 3B. And there's just two things on the general fund that just bring to your attention. If you look at the, what we've done to date compared to the prior years, we see a difference in fines and forfeitures. And that, we should get it, it's just delayed coming from the courts. But once they get up and going, that will be transmitted, and it should be equivalent to what we had in the prior years. There's really not a whole lot of revenue that moves in it. It's pretty stable revenue. The other item I want to bring to your attention is the total other local revenues compared to prior years. That is a one-time revenue item that has come in. People who have made deposits, we've carried it as a liability. We've researched all the monies that are in that account, and we're able to determine that there's balances that forfeited and balances that should have been recorded as revenue. So we made those adjustments. That creates a one-time revenue boost in the general fund. On the second page of the revenue, this is pretty much just two funds that I just want to talk about. One is the highway fund, road and bridge fund. The state money compared to the prior year, it's more or less just bringing to mind that the highway department received some state street aid money early in the year. The other item is 151, general debt service. You have one line at the end, other sources of $24,306. You'll see that. I'm just going to tell you, I'll bring this up every time, just a reminder. But this is the money coming in from the Industrial Development Fund of the loan that we made to the Airport Authority. They paid back to the Industrial Development Fund. We transfer from that fund into this one as other sources. So it's just money originating from the airport. With 4 months collected on sales tax in the rural area, sales tax revenue is up 12.8%. For all governments, I'm talking about Smart and Laverne, everybody in the county, all governments were up 9% over the prior year. 2 months reported of property tax. It was higher last month than that first month. We only had 2 months collected, and we're pretty much equal to what we were, 0.6% than what we were in the prior year. If you remember, on our property tax levy, we pretty much adopted the certified rate, so really no increase in revenue other than what growth we have. And the BEP is still running at 3.1% higher than prior year.
You typically see a large boost in the property tax in the first couple of weeks of the year.
Yeah.
When do you see it come in?
It's you've got 3 times a year that we get it in big amounts. One in October. That month of October that we see in November, we get the money and recognize it then. And it's pretty much those people who get the bill and pay it.
Right.
Those people. The next group of people want to pay their taxes to get it on their income taxes.
Okay.
So the next big boost is December. Then the next one is February, because it comes late, March 1, and there's penalty and interest that begin March 1. So those are the 3 dates that you will see significant influx.
Usually all the mortgage escrows start coming in the February one. They hold on to the money.
No, because a lot of them, they'll come in December.
They'll come in December. Okay. Just curious.
Is that all? That
That's it.
concludes your report?
That's it.
We have a motion to approve the report.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Kaplan, Mr. Schaefer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving right along.
Okay, 3C, I got this one thing, and this is just in response to Mr. Schaefer, I think, asked for what have we dipped into fund balance for, and that's in 3C. More or less a reminder of what y'all have done today.
Just for information only.
It's information only.
The dead animal removal, why don't we, isn't that in the budget to begin with?
It was an increase.
Oh,
I mean, for what we budgeted the same thing as the prior year, and if you remember, we did the contract after we already adopted the budget. The contract came in, it
Okay.
was a little bit more, so we had to add more money to it. And that's the only thing that's in that line.
And one of these items, the one on the repair of subdivision roads, a portion of that could be recoverable?
Could come back. That was to go ahead and get the money over there to do those roads.
A big piece of that potentially.
That's the one where we're fighting to get them to honor the bond.
Yes.
I hate to kick this horse. Are we still gonna have the $15,000? Are we gonna wait on that?
No, that
No, that's already
15,000
happened.
That's already happened.
We've
Sorry.
already amended that, and we will need that to pay the
Still gonna
previous
pay.
provider, so we can continue to use them until we make a choice on how we move forward.
Maybe now's the time to ask, could we have a small update on how that process is going?
No. The process is going that we, all of us, including the clerk, OIT, and me, and the county attorneys, are reviewing every option and opportunity we have here, and we haven't reached a decision on what course of action we should take.
Hardly ever ask a politician and get a direct answer.
That's just protecting our interest.
Yeah. Any more questions on that? We'll move on to risk management. I believe Ms. Nolan's handling that from Ms. Street tonight.
Yes. Okay, the first one is Fund 264, which is our health insurance. At the end of November, with just the medical claims per member is $810.18. Average for the 5 months is $878.29 compared to the same period last year of $824.15. When you add the on-site medical to that, our total for November is $849.23 compared to $803.22 November. Brings our total for the 5 months to $910.28 compared to $856.02 for 5 months reporting last fiscal year for all medical, and that is a 6.3% increase in trend. That's 5 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. July, August, September, October,
You're right.
November. Okay. Okay. In workers' comp, we have paid out year to date $313,000. claims compared to $218,918 in claims per year. And I'm sorry, I do not have the information for you to say how many open worker comp claims there are.
It'll be somewhere between 14 and 16, that's the
Yeah,
number where I was.
it's still in that neighborhood.
Any questions for our acting risk management director?
Do you have a motion?
Need a motion to approve the report?
Motion to approve the report.
Thank you, Commissioner Schaefer, and second, Commissioner P, I believe. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No money, I believe we can do that one, I believe. On to the approval of special purpose fund budget amendment for the sheriff's department.
Good evening, everybody.
Russell, Sheriff, how are y'all tonight?
Doing good. Y'all ready for Christmas?
Is it
You
December?
sounded enthusiastic.
Christmas? Is that coming? Hoping to get through Thanksgiving first.
Did they get both of them or just the first?
I got both of them.
They've got
You got both
July
of them?
and.
Oh, cool. Okay, good. All right, so we have two
Got
asset
November
forfeitures.
1st, I believe.
You gonna do November
No,
1st?
well, no,
We got
it's the other way.
Okay, you got it, no problem. So from August, we had asset forfeitures of $7,010.45, and we wanted to split those up into two line items, instructional supplies and general equipment, split evenly, 350523 and 350522 respectively. We do them both together, I figure, okay. And then for November, we had asset forfeiture of $10,563.25, and we'd like to put that into law enforcement equipment.
Any questions on that?
Yeah, do you get this every 3 months? Is that roughly what it is, or?
No,
It's every month.
it's a
Yeah, it's
monthly
every month.
report, yes. I know that this one,
With the election
Yeah.
and
It's
not
a
having
house
a
cleaning.
meeting.
We
It's a
thought
house
it went
cleaning.
through and
Yeah.
it didn't go through.
I remember talking about it, but we couldn't find the notes anywhere, so we're doing it again.
But this one doesn't come to public safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one we just
And
got.
there's nothing in confidential.
This
so I'm
week
gonna
in the
have
bank
to
statement.
give
Okay.
Just
I
getting you
wouldn't
moved.
We can't tell you.
Any further questions, or we'll entertain a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Thank you, Commissioner
Second.
Jernigan. Second, Commissioner Baum. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
That's
That
all we
it?
got.
Yeah.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
School, but building program fund amendments. Mr. Sandvik, are you? Welcome.
Don't have the guest iPad here.
Here you go.
I tried to bring up my phone, it didn't work. Building program amendment, as Lisa mentioned earlier, just some cleanup. The first part cleans up $69,639 in line item expenditures for the Stewart's Creek High project and transfers those funds to a high school project for a later high school project, or if we need the money mixed with some elementary for middle school, whatever. As the final change order gets, if there are any further change orders, we might have a little more come into that project and become available. Mr. Clardy is quite ready to commit there. There are a couple of minor issues out there. And then the second part, and we did this in 2 stages to make it very clear that we were keeping the mix, elementary versus secondary money.
For
We'll have to
Mr.
share with
Catlin.
the city of Murfreesboro on
Yeah.
Yeah,
K-5 stuff.
yeah.
We have to borrow, when we borrow for
Yeah.
elementary schools, the state law requires that we borrow an amount to share with the city of Murfreesboro because of
Yeah.
they have K-6. So sometimes sometimes our middle schools are 6, 7, and 8, and they educate 6, so we have to
Yeah.
watch the money and how we only have to share on the 6th grade portion. So a lot of times you'll see these and we are keeping up with which money is middle and
Yeah.
high
It-
school and elementary.
It saved us, the first stage of the amendment saved us, it was about $70,000 that we would have to have shared with Murfreesboro if we hadn't done that amendment. But this, the Part B is moving $324,612 from the Blackman Middle Annex project to cover, we had a $4,534 deficit in middle school land, which was for the Whitworth Buchanan future annex, surveying difference, closing costs. And then moving $320,078 for land at the next middle school or middle school annex that the commission approves. Just clean up, no new funding. And as we wind down Blackman Middle and Smyrna Primary, the remaining monies in those funds will be amended. Mr. Clardy wasn't ready to close out either one of those yet. Our recommended motion is to amend the building program budget within project for a total of $69,639 in the Stewart's Creek High project. Transfer that $69,639 to an unnamed later high school project, and to transfer $34,612 from the Blackman Middle Annex project to middle school land as presented.
I believe that was 324,000, you said. You said 34,000.
I'm sorry.
Make it bigger.
Just $290,000 difference.
It's just,
What's that among friends?
there you go.
A motion approved.
Motion approved, Commissioner Jernigan, do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Allen, any further questions? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot. Wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Y'all too.
Health Department, Ms. Garrett.
Well, Merry Christmas.
That's
A Happy New Year.
That's right. Thank you. So tonight I bring 3 documents for you guys to look at. The first one is the state of Tennessee does a contract with Rutherford County every year. This is all approved in last year's budget, so they're just sending
Current
through.
year budget.
Yeah, I
It's in
mean
the
current
current year
year's
budget.
budget, right, that you guys approved. Ms. Nolan has looked at it and it is the right information. They just want to now get it signed and make it official, and they're just 6 months.
So the
behind.
contract we entered into July 1st, the
Yes.
state just now got around to getting us the paperwork.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
But it's not our fault, but this is
Right.
always like this. So
Yes, sir.
Every year.
Every year. You guys know I always come
Motion to approve.
saying that same thing.
Second.
A motion and second to approve this contract. We've got, when you take these separately, we've got,
Yeah.
okay.
I think
Any
so.
further discussion on this first one? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, the other 2 are the state of Tennessee, according to TCA law, can supplement the salary of 2 employees at the health department, and they do. This is no funding to you guys in increase or any difference. This is part of the contract, but we just have to go through and get those signed as well. But again, it doesn't increase anything that we're already sending in or have already agreed to.
Same numbers we're expecting the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the same amount of money that you
Okay.
guys send in.
That's for the director and the physician.
Yes, that's right, the physician and the director.
Any questions on that?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Ms. Allen?
Second.
Second. Mr. Kaplan? Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Motion passes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys, appreciate it.
Financial assurance in lieu of bond document for the landfill. Are you gonna take that,
Yes,
Ms. Noe?
I'll take care of that one.
All right.
This is, again, another document that we do every year, and it decreases a little bit every year, and it is our estimated cost if something should happen at the landfill, that we'll take care of it. Moves from $3,096,951 to $2,948,394.
Make a motion approved.
I'll second that.
Motion from Commissioner Jernigan, second Commissioner Peak. At this rate, we'll be out of that
30 more years.
30 more years.
Or something like that.
Seems like it's always 30 more years.
Yeah.
Lisa, on this money, I know we have to have that available. What are we actually doing with this money? Are we?
There's no money.
There's no
It's on
money.
deposit. It's just a guarantee that if necessary, we will fund that much money.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't have that setting
No.
somewhere that, all right.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
I will say our estimated assigned fund balance in that fund is $3,792,000. So, you could
But
say,
that's
not.
that's needed for other purposes,
Right.
operating wise.
But if something should happen,
Well, you can say we do have it available.
right?
2015-2016 budget calendar and schedule. Everybody's got a chance to look at this or take a minute to look at it now, and there's not a lot of flexibility on these, I don't think.
And we're doing something a little different this year, is going ahead and doing the main calendar and going ahead and setting the individual, the smaller calendar too. But it might be easier now just to go ahead and secure our dates.
Somebody said something about a hard copy of this. I don't know, could we get a
Sure.
hard copy of these dates in at least the budget committee's mailboxes?
Okay.
Or something, because it's, you're fixing to walk away from the iPad and leave it here, and you won't have that.
You should have all received a copy
Yeah.
also after, I guess last Wednesday. I sent that after I sent the agenda notice, so yeah, I'll put a hard copy in your mailbox also.
Do you want all the commissioners?
I don't know.
Now, what did you say about the
This
other
one.
details?
This one. This one we usually do in March.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the second.
The second.
The second document, okay.
Yeah.
I hear
We
you.
usually do that February, March. So just
Get
thought
it down to the
might as
net.
well do it.
The full commission might want to be more interested in the first page. It
Right.
shows the deadlines and all. And Mike could just have that on the desk next week at the commission meeting. Just lay them out for everybody. That's just a thought. But besides that, I take it we need a motion to approve this
Calendar.
schedule and calendar.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Do you have a second?
Second.
All right, now, Commissioner Kaplan told me before we started, the public hearing date's gonna be a problem for you, correct? June 16th?
Yes.
Do
You
we-
can, always, that was a tough one to tie down. Just because of how many days that you have.
Has to be before, then advertising deadline.
You have to get the numbers, then you have to.
Have to get the numbers from y'all, advertise it, and then have it. I mean, that one was a struggle. We were trying to get it on the 9th, but we just really legitimately can't get the numbers turned around fast enough.
And you're gone all that week, or not available most of that entire week.
You probably could catch us online.
Okay.
I mean.
2 in the morning.
2 in the morning.
But we'll make it work. I
'Cause
just
really
think
it's
if
a-
it's
it's a-
okay, I'm not here.
It's
Yes.
a
Yeah.
meeting
It's
for
just
the
to be there to
public.
observe what the public may say. And
You're not gonna be
recently,
doing
there's only
anything.
been a handful of comments each
Usually
year.
if there's not a tax increase, there's a very
Yeah.
small
It
crowd, and
depends
if
what
there is
happens.
a tax increase, there could be a large crowd, not
That's right.
necessarily, but could be. But yeah, we don't do anything but listen that night, so yeah, that'll be online, you can watch it, afterward anyway. We do want to try and work with everybody on the committee as much as possible to make it work for everyone. We got a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Other business?
I have one thing, there's a special called school board meeting on Saturday morning. I think there's a bus that's gonna be leaving the, central office at 8:30. We're gonna be turning John Coleman and Roy Waldron. So, I anticipate that's for needs that those schools have, that will probably be coming up, so that might be a good idea for everybody to attend if they can.
All right. Sounds like a good idea. You have anything else?
I have nothing. Today is my daughter's birthday.
Which one?
The baby is 22.
Happy birthday to Savannah.
I only been through all.
She'll appreciate you
Yes,
putting
she
it on
does,
TV.
yes.
Mr. Mary, anything?
No, sir.
Well, nothing else? We are adjourned.